The baseball season is approaching, and the Houston Astros have a problem. But it's not the problem people think. They don't lack talent, they have too much of it in the same place. Imagine being Isaac Paredes, All Star season, one of the best hitters on the roster, and opening day arrives. You might not even be in the lineup. How does that even happen? Roster construction. And the exact same thing is happening in job markets. Ladies and gentlemen, let's spin the wheel. Well, look at this tomfoolery. The resume purist. This is the recruiter who believes hiring is a checklist. If the job says 5 years of experience, they're not hiring anyone with 4 years and 11 months. You could be Michael Jordan, but if the checklist says something else, sorry, chimp. That's actually not a bad analogy. Go ahead, Professor. I was talking baseball with one of my coworkers, Jason. Hold up. You see what happens whenever baseball comes up? He turns into a 5-year-old.
Baseball stuff!
Baseball stuff!
Exactly. That's him every time the Astros make a move. Am I allowed to finish? Go ahead, ESPN. Anyways, I was talking baseball with my coworker Jason, and we took a look at the current Astros roster. Let me explain this in a way that has nothing to do with baseball. Imagine a company where the team is already full, but leadership hires another expert anyway. Now you've got 5 talented employees, but only 4 desks. That's basically the situation the Astros created. Think about it like this. First base is locked. Shortstop is locked. Second base is your franchise player. And third base is under contract. So the question becomes, where does Isaac Paredes even play? And the crazy part is, he might have been their best hitter last season. That's when the real lesson hit me. Sometimes talent isn't the problem. Sometimes the roster just doesn't have a slot. And a lot of candidates right now are dealing with the same thing. They think they're being rejected because they're not qualified. But sometimes you're just underpositioned. So basically, the Astros got too many qualified candidates and not enough open positions. LinkedIn. Objection, kind sir. Your Honor, I'd like to present Exhibit A.
You made a mistake, dude.
That's Michael Jordan, talking about the coach who cut him from varsity. So let me make sure I understand Whitney's theory. You're saying sometimes the roster just doesn't have a slot. In this case, the slot was Michael Jordan. And the coach said, nah, we're good. Fair point. Sometimes evaluators do get it wrong. Exhibit B. Record labels passed on Jay-Z. They said he was too old to debut. Then he drops. Then all of a sudden, everybody missed the genius. You are right about Jay-Z, but he didn't sit around waiting. He started Rockefeller Records with Damon Dash and Kareem Burke. That was strategy. All right, then, Exhibit C. For a while, the industry treated your boy Nas like he was finished. Then he lands at, and suddenly he's great again. That wasn't really a signing, though. That was alignment. Nas joining Def Jam while Jay-Z was running the label, that was a partnership. Okay, story time. I recently had a panel interview with a company called Credit Acceptance. I assumed I'd be speaking with people on the credit side. You know, underwriting, risk, decisioning. But once the panel started, I realized something. The entire panel was from funding. And in auto finance, that's a completely different world. My background is underwriting, evaluating risk, structuring deals. However, they were evaluating funding operations. Right there, I knew this might not be the right roster spot. The next day, the recruiter emailed me. They were moving forward with another candidate. And the key word in that email was matched. Matched. They didn't say I wasn't qualified. They said someone else matched what they were looking for. All right, let's slow this down. These 4 stories look completely different, but they actually represent 4 outcomes. Hold on. Something's missing. What? The whole point of the episode. Where's overqualified? That's the illusion. Most people who think they're overqualified are actually one of these. Underpositioned, misjudged, mismanaged, or properly positioned somewhere else. Overqualified is usually just a story that we tell ourselves when we don't know which one it is. Lighthouse Keeper Log, entry number 16. Sometimes the problem isn't your talent. Sometimes you're just standing in the wrong lineup. All right, cool. But we still didn't talk about the real scam. What scam? Every job posting says competitive salary, but nobody actually tells you what the salary is. That's not a coincidence. That's leverage. Next case, adjourned.